And I love what you do because everything you do is so professional. You know what I mean? Like your Instagram posts, LinkedIn, Facebook is always like, you have a certain standard. And I see how fashion can kind of help transcend. It can make you feel better, talk better. How can fashion transcend a girl to a woman, a lady to a woman? Like, how can fashion play that important of a part in a woman's life?
That's an interesting question. I think the best way to answer that is through my own personal experience. And, I think that as I think about the question and my own personal life, that my style has changed from, when I was a young adolescent to when I became a mom, and then when I became a wife, and then becoming a mom again. And, we have twin girls, and, and then being a business professional and all those things. So I think that it really speaks to the evolution of a girl into a lady or into a woman. It speaks about where we are in life, because oftentimes our clothing resembles I think that an individual's clothing resembles a lot about who they are and how they think and what they feel. So I think that you can oftentimes interpret a lot about a person through their clothing.
Yeah. I'm glad you went there. Because I think it's clothing for women. I think is the standards are different for men, and it's crazy because you know what I mean. Because I really want to go there. Like when you watch Love and Hip Hop or VH1, or it's almost like that culture pushes like breast out, tight clothing, like trying to reveal your body. So what advice can you give a woman like how to be sexy and confident and not be too revealing? How can you pull that off?
So recently I was just featured in the blog feature in the Power Women Collective, and
great article,
it was,
by the way.
Thank you. The interesting part about that was it was a strong and sexy photo shoot. And so one of the things that I said about that is that being sexy and being confident is oftentimes it doesn't even begin with the clothes. It begins with how you are on the inside, what you truly feel about yourself. And so I think that the more confident that we are within ourselves, the less we have to reveal of ourselves on the outside. So if that makes a lot of sense,
makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I think that, building up that inner person and really honing in on who you are. Just a random side note, today as I was going out, I had several different meetings today in regards to what we're doing. And all day I kept getting stopped. And it was really awkward for me because I kind of don't like to pull a whole bunch of attention and all this stuff. But people kept saying, I just want to let you know that you're really beautiful. And I just was myself. I had on a blazer, I had on my pants because I had meetings all day. But the only thing I was like, well, Victoria, what's different? Like, what is really different? And I couldn't identify anything except for what I was working on today is what I'm passionate about. Yeah. And so from the inside, that inner beauty and that inner love on the inside is really what shines on the outside. And people see that. And of course, it starts with the love that we have from ourselves, the love that we have, from God who gifts us with our abilities and our things to do. And that's the only conclusion I could come up with that. But really, back to your question, is that it really starts from within. And the more that we understand who we are within, the less that we, as I just said, had to reveal ourselves on the outside.
Now, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you know you were beautiful before someone told you?
Yeah, I've always felt very pretty. I've never really, for the longest, I was very tomboyish, when I was younger. So I didn't, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I was really just clothes. Yeah. It didn't, not until, I got older and I went into a profession and then it really, like I said, just kind of once I said I was going to do Let's Talk Fashion Virginia, it's well, you better figure out how to dress now. So, yeah. Yeah,
because I feel like the pressure is on women now. And it's, I think it's rough because, for men, we have no standard on, body type, body size, body hair. You know what I mean? In shape, out of shape. As long as you're a man, you take a shower and you're good. But I think the thing is that I feel sorry for women is just like you all get up and you deal with so many issues, hormonal issues, you know, menstrual cycles, you know, bloating, not bloating, hot flashes, you know, gaining weight after having a baby. And I think it's so many, so much pressure to live. But I think if a woman knows she is beautiful, you know, she doesn't do anything to promote someone to say she's beautiful. Like the motives of how you dress is just, I'm dressing to feel good versus I'm dressing for you to validate who I am.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's so very important. Like, there's a stark difference between waking up in the morning and getting dressed to bring attention versus waking up in the morning and getting dressed because I love this outfit in my closet and I cannot wait to put it on because I know it's going to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so the epidemic of, or I don't know if epidemic, that's a really strong word, but, you know, I think with the whole social media and all of that, that has but it has enhanced the so-called epidemic of women aspiring to look and be a certain way. You know, and so my thing is, you know, if you have to cut back on social media so that you can really figure out who you are, please do it, because it makes you a better individual for not only yourself, but those people around you, because you have to understand that as women, we affect a lot of what goes on around us, you know, so when we're not 100% or when we're not, you know, where we need to be as far as our energy, it ripples out to everybody around us. And so the best thing that, you know, okay, so now we're going on this tangent of self-care. You know, you really do have to invest in yourself and make sure that you feel about yourself what you're supposed to feel so that you can be the best person you are for the people around you. Yeah,
women run it, you know. And I'll be the first to say that. I mean, Beyonce was right. I mean, girls run the world. As far as from a standpoint of like, you know, and body and confidence. Because you know what's worse than like a good looking car? So, you know, picture whatever car you love. Imagine it, armor rolled up, tires, rims, nice candy paint job. You know what's worse than that? If you found out you went in to turn the key and it had no engine.
It had no engine.
No substance. So for you to be beautiful, curvy, implants or not, perfect teeth, makeup or whatever, and you didn't have substance, someone can't hold a conversation with you. You know, you don't have any goals, any dreams, any admirations. You know what I mean? No intellect. This is what real men care about. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes that fellas, we are 80%. I would say 80% we're responsible because the pressure for a woman is to figure out who she is, where she has to fit in. And then you live in an age of almost like the single parent. And for her to try to bounce back and find a good man, now she has pressure to find a man that's good for her and her children. And sometimes it's like, I think the bar is set too high for them and not high enough for us. And I think that fashion is something that helps a woman embody and give her courage.